the capital market probe now. And Mr. Paul Utho joins us now. He's a public affairs analyst. He's been following the developments, of course. Thank you for coming on today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, then let's just give a little background. Yes, you know that previously, when the DG of SEC did not show up, having written that letter, the House chairman, I beg your pardon, the committee chairman, of course, will not have it. Subsequently, she shows up, tenders apologies, accepted, and then they move on. But a little bit of background with this report, and we'll take it from there.
I write respectfully to inform you that I am unable to attend the public hearings today because I will be attending the National Economic Management Team meeting chaired by the President, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. As you will recall, the Securities and Exchange Commission had dutifully and diligently entered appearances at the hearing in spite of the several rescheduling at the instance of the committee since the 17th of April. This has forced me and the Commission to cancel and in several cases reschedule important official commitments. I therefore crave your indulgence to permit me to respond to any additional questions that you may have in writing. The contents of the letter to this committee has an aura of arrogance and looks down upon the integrity and authority of the National Assembly. The National Assembly is not under the control of the executive. It is an independent arm of the government duly recognized by the Constitution and acts in accordance with various sections of the Constitution. Mrs. Aruma Ote and all the commissioners of SEC are hereby ordered to appear before this committee by 10 a.m. tomorrow, 9th May 2012, unfailingly. Otherwise, we shall be compelled to invoke the necessary provisions of the law. Thank you.
I really apologize to you, to the committee, and to the House of Reps, and ask for your forgiveness.
The committee accepts your apology. The pronouncement made yesterday is to strengthen our democratic institutions. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary complement each other.
Well, there you have that. Of course, we couldn't take a lot more, but for those of you who watched it, you saw what transpired on the floor yesterday with that committee. But, Mr. Utho, I mean, looking at all of those developments, and it's been adjourned to Tuesday, although. Yes. But from what you saw and heard, including the previous appearance of Professor Okereke-Onyiuke and then of yesterday, you think they're heading on course to ensuring or finding out what actually caused the capital markets near collapse with a view to solving the problem?
I think it's still premature to judge in that aspect.
Okay. Because
what we have done in the last few weeks, from my own perspective, is dealing with two individuals, Okereke and Aruma Ote.
Key individuals too?
Two individuals, key individuals.
Okay.
But the issue of the capital market goes beyond these two individuals in the sense that we have institutions. And if the institutions have failed, then we should be looking at what caused those failures and not just these individuals per se. Now, I'm not trying to say that these individuals probably did not contribute to the failure or the near collapse of the capital market. But there are also other players in this capital market, the banks, the bank chiefs, and some other people that led to this near collapse. The CBN. What role did the CBN play in the years that have gone before now that led to the near collapse? So I think the committee is on course, the other committee is on course, but there is still so much to uncover. And I hope that they will have time to uncover all of it before the round of their program.
Did you listen to the presentation of the central bank?
I did, but you see the presentation of the central bank also was not here and not there, in my own perspective. It was not here and it was not there.
Why'd you say so?
Because they did not go in depth into the issues that has to do with the capital market. You know, Mohalo came on board and was saying, look, I didn't know you were going to ask me such questions, blah, 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 blah.
No. I mean, before they started asking questions, he made a presentation.
Yes.
Were you opportune to listen to the presentation?
I listened to the presentation, but at the end of the day, I'm not satisfied with that presentation. That's in my own perspective.
You expected that presentation to talk about what actually happened,
Yes,
or the questioning to bring that out?
Beyond the individuals that have gone and come in the capital market, the central bank has been there. So the central bank cannot say they don't have a full perspective of all that has gone on, and to nip some of those things in the bud and profile is a lasting solution.
Did you hear him? I mean, because I listened to the presentation, and he did mention that as an institution, in fact, several regulatory institutions should take responsibility for the crash of the market, or the near crash of the market in 2008, 2009, and that as an institution, the CBN does take responsibility for that.
Taking responsibility is one thing. Then what have you done? If, let's say, the CBN governor did not come in to intervene in the banks and took the steps that he took, we probably will not be talking about all of this. But we had a CBN governor who was there before Sanusi came in. Yes, I agree that, yes, they are taking certain steps. But I'm saying that we can achieve much more if everybody is alive to their responsibility. The CBN can do much more. That is my belief.
Would you say, for instance, now that this probe should be tagged, not just factors, leading to the near collapse of the market, but factors that have also prevented it from recovering?
Exactly, because this is 2012. We're talking about something that happened about 2008, 2009. There does not seem to be an end in sight, in the sense that investors are still wary about the capital market. People are still very, very careful. If you ask somebody today to go to the capital markets to invest his funds, he would rather go and do any form of business, probably go into farming, than go into the capital markets. So investors are still wary. People lost money. And beyond losing money, people lost their lives during the collapse of the capital market. I lost money. So it will go beyond rhetorics to make me go into the capital market and say, yes, I want to invest money in the capital market. I'd rather just put my money in a business where I can sit down and watch it.
So let's take a look now. I mean, you've just confessed that as an investor, you lost some money in the capital market. What are you looking to see in this probe that will bring your confidence back?
I want to see transparency. The capital market is not transparent enough for us to know what is going on there. Let us see some transparency. Let us see, like the Commissioner for Legal mentioned yesterday, let us see some teamwork. Let us see proof that, yes, there is a way forward. For now, we are not saying that. All the expose we saw yesterday proves that nothing is happening in the capital market.
Let's talk about that a little further with the SEC. I mean, the fact that they came up, the commissioners, they don't seem to be in tandem with what's going on in that sector. Is that a pointer to the fact, to what some people allude that, who knows? I mean, if they're not together in that house, we will have a challenge.
It is a big challenge. It is a big challenge, and I tell you why. The commissioner said something. Even the trust of the staff of SEC, their morale is down. If the morale of the staff of a company is down, do you think such a staff will tell somebody or advise somebody to come and invest in the stock market? It's not going to work. If the morale of the staff is down, and with all that we are seeing, the DG has more or less run the SEC since she came in as a one-man business. She has not carried anybody along. Nobody knows what is going on. We all saw it yesterday. She lied on oath.
Oh.
In the sense that she said she carried them along. And when the census was taken to say, were you aware or are you aware of this decision, of that decision, each and every one of them said no.
Were you surprised?
I was shocked. I was shocked.
But they've always been with her all this while, even times, even the day before she appeared yesterday, they were all with her and they never said anything in that regard.
Maybe the question did not arise. The question arose yesterday. Were you carried along in Project 50? No. Were you informed about the secondment of staff from Access Bank? No. Only the Director of Human Resources came out and said, I advised her that this is an illegal process and you need to take the legal steps. Even if you are bringing in staff, you want to call them casual staff, you will have to rationalize their recruitment and what have you. But she did not take any of that. And if you are telling somebody or advising somebody on a business you have been in, the other lady, Ekina or something, Miss Daisy, has been in the capital market for 30 years. The Commissioner of Finance, of Legal, has been in the capital market for close to about 15 years. One would have thought that you carry all these people along. They've been in this business, you've not been on ground. Carry them along, sit down with them and discuss with them and find a way forward. But she has not done that. Of course, she had good plans, good purposes, good intentions. But good intentions in themselves cannot solve the problem.
To your mind, I mean, sorry to interrupt your thought process there, but to your mind, do you think that all of that led to the collapse of the capital market, or the near collapse of the capital market?
Well, we don't know what happened during the former DG's time, if all of these people were being carried along, or if that is what even led to the collapse. That is why I said the committee has a lot of work to do, because it's beyond just coming to either tender an apology. It's beyond just coming to say, yes, we admit that there was a failure. We need to look at all the indices. What happened during that time? It's beyond buying Rolex watches for people that have served for 48 years. What happened during that time? Because it did not just happen. The collapse of the capital market did not just happen. There was a process that led to that collapse. And we should take time to find out what that process was.
To your mind, sorry, Chamberlain, why do you think you lost money? Do you think you were sufficiently informed about how the capital market operated? Do you think you had sufficient knowledge before you went into the capital market?
Well, I had sufficient information before I went into the capital market.
But you went in as an individual?
As an individual. And I bought the shares of a particular bank at a very low rate. And I was not looking for a turnaround investment, a 1 year or 6 months or what have you. I was looking at a long term. But that long term today, some few months ago, I got a dividend warrant from my bank. And I said to somebody, if I pay in that dividend warrant, the amount on the dividend warrant itself is not enough to clear that paper. So why do I want to pay it in?
Okay, comment on this before you go. When Professor Okereke-Onyiuke appeared, she spoke about a lot of things, and one of them was the fact that 4 court orders have not been obeyed. And in a democratic dispensation, that's going to be, it will send shivers down anybody's spine if authorities will flagrantly disobey court orders. And before now, how come it wasn't brought to the notice of anyone? And can that actually happen? Not 1, not 2, not 3, but she says 4. And is it true? I mean, if it were true, how did you perceive it?
It's a very sad situation, in the sense that if we are talking about the rule of law in a democratic setting, and indeed 4 court orders have been disobeyed, then the House should go beyond what's their mandate. She came on board and she mentioned something. I think the House should also set in motion an investigative panel to find out if those court orders were actually given. If they were given, why were they not obeyed? Maybe somebody will be able to explain to us why those court orders were not obeyed. Is it because somebody was brought in from the diaspora to come and replace her? Or what exactly? But it's very shocking. The revelations that have come out from this probe, just like the probe of the petroleum product subsidy, they are all shocking. And I really want to commend the House for taking such steps. So you're optimistic? I am optimistic, but we have not seen the light at the end of the tunnel yet.
Would it be right, a quick one here, for us to continue to refer to Professor Okereke-Onyiuke as the Director General of the Stock Exchange, since, that court order also asked that she be given some kind of compensation for all of that. And the present man at the helm of affairs there doesn't go with the name or the designation as Director General, but Chief Executive Officer.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, and I won't want to comment on that in the sense that I think there are legal processes. If she has not taken any legal step, haven't been served a court order to say this and this and this should be done, then she should seek redress in the court.